You're never gonna see this on any mainstream news.
This ain't what you want, this is what you need.
Ain't never forget.
Yeah, they made us slaves, hung our kids from trees.
I never forget.
Nooses on our neck, whipped us till we bleed.
And they gotta get it.
Hey man, call it Galatians 3:13.
Woo.
You're now tuned in to Precept Upon Precept.
Crew so strange. Look at how low they hang. Oh man, took out the chains. So when the wind blow, we just swing. Much oppression, never pillar. Drinking dreams and it's bitter. Ready, set.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring any awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept. We're your hosts. I'm Captain Shem, and we have
Captain Matt.
Captain Matt's in the building. Original Precept Upon Precept host. Carry on.
Officer Thomas.
Officer Mikael.
All praise to the Most High. So look, like we do every time, we would go to the Watchman Report, but our very own Officer Micah is got some personal things he's got to go. Shout out to Officer Micah. Always very reliable. Tonight he had to handle some business. So what we're going to do is we're going to start first with the thumbnail for tonight's show. AI is at another level. So, Officer Mikael, I think you put this together.
Yes, sir. As y'all can see, the title is Babylon is Breaking, Division at Home and Abroad. So what you see is civil unrest in the background. You see war. You see the Capitol building on fire. And in the forefront, you have a crown that's cracked in two. That crown is representing Babylon. So go ahead and play the video. Play the video of the thumbnail so the people can see it. What you see is the crown crumbling, and you see the civil unrest, and you see the instability globally going on.
Wow. And you know what's, hey, that's a beautiful thing. I got to add, can't add anything to that because you got different flags in different countries. But last year, this technology, if it was here, it was in its infancy. So just to see within the last 6 months, the level of how we can use AI and graphic art for our advantage in this truth. So all praise to the Most High for that. Let's start jump right in. Let's start, and by the way, Cap is one of the originals of the show. Officer Mikael, Thomas, y'all jump in as you need be. We got a lot on tonight, so we're just gonna jump right in. We probably won't get to everything, y'all. All right. Actually, Cap, plug the Booster Club.
Yes. Donate to the Booster Club. All right, donate to the Booster Club. It's very important. This is how a lot of missions get accomplished. We don't use the money for our own advantage. We are going out doing the Lord's work. Money is a defense. All right, money is a defense. Wisdom is a defense. Donate to the Booster Club. All right, donate to the Booster Club. As y'all can see, we did what? 40 missions in 1 year. Compared to like over a 4-year period, we had done like maybe 5 or 6. Look, the mission's going to keep going, all right? The mission's going to keep going, and it's going to keep going with the donations.
And they happen throughout the, matter of fact, they got missions going out in the next couple of weeks and less. So your money is used, God is using you, and God is using you to help us push this truth to 12 tribes all across the world, okay? Number one. So first thing I want to get into is in the title. Put the thumbnail real quick again. Yeah, just I want to see the title. So it says Babylon is breaking, right? In the bottom line, it says division abroad and at home. This division is causing confusion and division. So we're going to look first at, and you say, why are you going here? Because this flotilla is a group of dozens of vessels that are trying to get to Gaza to bring them supplies and food relief, because the whole world is up in arms, with the exception of the United States of America, and I think maybe Great Britain. But almost every country is like, look, this is a problem, and they're trying to break the siege. So this flotilla, why is this so important? It's because right now, starting today, they were boarded, they were rerouted, and brought and taken over by the IDF at sea. So we're going to, and why is this so important? Because people, as a result, right now and tomorrow, they're going to be protesting throughout the world that this Israeli genocide, and they're even trying to stop civilians from doing things that governments should be doing. So I think this is a video I want you to play, right? Okay. So this, yep. Do me a favor. I want you to Google Greta Thunberg. She's like 20 or 19 now, something like that. Years and years ago, she was the little girl that was. Let's get a little history about her. Greta Thunberg. Y'all probably remember her from like 2015, 16. She was a young girl for environmental activism.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
Greta Thunberg. She's America's, she is like, she's the epitome of what protecting white girls. So this is a big deal that she's been captured. Let's take a look at her. A little bit about her. You do Wikipedia or something, man. You know?
She like the new John Benet Ramsey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
She is. I mean, everybody loves her. You know, she's the outspoken little Amalek girl.
Yeah, so she's only 22 years old. But she started her activism, I want to say like when she was 10, 11 years old. She's a Swedish political activist. Scroll down. So she is a Caucasian and Edomite from, what it says, Sweden?
Yep. She was born in Stockholm.
Born in Stockholm, Sweden. All right. Scroll down. I want to see when she started.
So it said at the top cap at 15.
Okay.
Right
yeah.
there.
So right. Okay. I said okay. So at 15 years old, she was known for dealing with starting to the carbon footprint. That's the key. All right. She was trying to be environmental, and she made the news everywhere. Scroll down.
While being a truant.
Yes, skipping school. Scroll down. Let me see. Everybody spoke in front of supporters. A little bit more. I just want to see just a little bit about her. Okay. Okay, right there. So after Thunberg's first school strike for climate, other students engaged. So they had school strikes, and they were basically saying the carbon footprint is horrible, and that everything's gonna, the sea is gonna melt, and it's gonna raise the temperature of the earth, and this and that. So she has been plastered throughout all the last, I would say, 6 years on social media. She's the face of, and she is a Caucasian face that she represents the next generation. So she's been captured. So go back to the video.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm a citizen of Sweden. If you are watching this video, I have been abducted and taken against my will by Israeli forces.
This message, recorded by activist Greta Thunberg, was released on Thursday after Israeli forces seized dozens
so
of
pause
boats.
real quick. These are, how do I say this? This is the IDF's version of the Navy. These guys are they look like commandos. They look like Rangers or SEALs. They're very highly trained, and they're boarding a civilian vessel, which is in international waters, which, by the way, is illegal. What they're doing is illegal. And we know that nothing's going to happen to them because they run the U.S. They run all that. That's the least of the flock right there. All right? Carry on.
Carrying foreign campaigners and aid bound for Gaza. Cameras live streaming on board the global Sumud flotilla showed crew raising their hands in the air as heavily armed Israeli soldiers boarded their boats and surrounded them. The Israeli Foreign Ministry released footage appearing to show Thunberg, the most prominent of the flotilla's passengers, sitting on a deck. It said on social media the campaigners were being taken safely and peacefully to Israel to be processed for deportation. Israeli officials have denounced the mission as a stunt. Since the first boat set sail in August, the flotilla has become one of the most high-profile symbols of opposition to Israel's blockade of Gaza. It involved over 40 civilian vessels from dozens of countries.
Pause, that's the key. That's the whole point I want to get to. Over 40 vessels, right? Those are ships from multiple countries. In the countries that it's not so much that Chad and Nigeria are sending them. What we want to be concerned about is their Caucasian countries like Portugal and Italy and Thunberg out of Sweden that are irate at the fact of this genocide. And a lot of the people are putting pressure on the governments of these EU and these NATO countries to do something about it. Why is this important? Because prophetically, what has to happen is the 10 horns, i.e. the EU, like we've been covered every week in the show, are going to end up hating the whore they were attached to. This is carrying out and manifesting this, the animosity that's going to create that. So, you brothers want to bring something out?
Oh, I was looking at it earlier. They said they intercepted 13 of the 43 boats. Not only did they abduct Thunberg, but also Nelson Mandela's grandson. Oh. And they said there's so-called being peacefully deported back to their countries. We'll see how that goes, though.
Mm-hmm. So they're getting international recognition, and what's going on is, I think we could stop there. But now, go to number 2, because what's happening is this is getting out to the world, and it's proof that no matter what they do diplomatically, even if they try to do something peaceful like bring food. What's the problem bringing food? They're labeling all of these people, even the white ones, as being Hamas supporters. Now, what is that doing internationally? It's causing a problem with other first-rate NATO countries and EU. Number 2, it's an article about striking that's going on all over Italy, okay, throughout different Italian cities. They're mad because they figure, hey, you know what, IDF, maybe they're not that bad. Now they realize these people are horrible people, okay?
Hey, Cap, I was watching something the other day, and all of the newest weapon technology, all of it, Israel gets it first. The IDF gets it first. I'm talking about those guns that can shoot around corners, those laser machines, things that are shooting from 4, 5, 6 miles away. Yeah. IDF gets it first. So they're not harmless. They're not peaceful people. They're not the victims that they claim themselves to be. They are very militarized people, and they will stop at nothing to make sure that they get their word heard, and nobody's gonna hold them accountable.
To back up what Cap is saying, not only are they powerful over there, the Mossad and the Israeli, let's say the Israeli hand that reaches throughout the world. Type in Marjorie Taylor. She's a U.S. Political figure that is Caucasian, that is highly critical of the ADL, not ADL, the LOP. What is it, Marjorie? What is it? Marjorie Taylor Greene or something like that. Okay, this woman. That's Becky. That is Becky. She is making it a point. She's saying, look, I'm happily married. I am not suicidal. I am 100% happy being a so-called Christian woman, because the stuff she's saying is going to get her killed. Just like the things that Charlie Kirk was saying. Charlie Kirk was critical of the, what's that? What's it called? IPAC? What's the
APAC?
APAC, the ones that fund all. Remember
APAC.
APAC. Mm-hmm. Highly critical of them, and she was saying that they need to register as a foreign entity. Mm-hmm. Whereas before it's no, the Israelis can do whatever they want. And she is basically feared for her life. Type in Marjorie Taylor Greene, says she's not suicidal. I'm telling you, this is happening this week. When you have a Christian Caucasian woman who is highly favored amongst her peers, she's only 50-something years old, 51 years old, saying that she's not suicidal because she saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. She saw what happened to anybody that goes and talks publicly against the Jewish Israeli genocidal state or ADL or all APAC. They end up, stuff happens to them. Yep, there it is. This happened last week. Is there a video or? See if we can play that.
The Wall Street Journal published some fascinating reporting on the White House's internal discussions on how to handle the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Basically, the journal reports that, quote, finger-pointing, disorganization, and unforced errors by Trump advisors made the problem worse. The line that's getting the most traction.
Pause. This maybe it's just the article. Let's forget about the video. Let's just read the article because this woman, like Candace Owens, is very critical of the Israeli lobby. We showed a couple weeks ago on the show before Tabernacles how much some of these Democrats and Republicans were getting paid from the Israeli lobby. Some $5 million, some $1.5 million.
Yep.
So how could they not be biased and their opinion not be swayed? Now, what this woman right here is trying to put a stop to that. And what they fear is not so much her one voice, is that more and more people. Now, she's a Republican. So remember, and historically, Republicans have always backed Israel even more.
Yep.
So now she's like the best thing since sliced bread to Esau. When enough of people like her start saying this,
yep,
it's going to break the power of AIPAC. But I'm telling you, this woman, why is she saying she's not suicidal? Watch this. Read that article.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said on social media this weekend that she is not suicidal, raising the prospect of heinous actions in response to her support of a measure that would force the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Do me a favor. I have to do this. Google Jeffrey Epstein. Because the whole Epstein files will potentially implicate a lot of high-profile people that don't want their names to get out there.
Yep.
And there's allegations, some people are saying this, that Jeffrey Epstein was connected with the Israeli government and worked in tangent with them.
Well, Cap, you look.
Yes, sir.
He was born to a Jewish family and raised in New York City. So he was most definitely.
So he is a Jewish man. And when you look at that Jeffrey Epstein did die. And we're not here to smear him, or we're just here to understand what is all of the fact that people are dying, and there's so much talk about protecting this. Shouldn't it, if we have nothing to hide, shouldn't it just all come out? People are going to die over these files because there's a lot of evil that's going to be exposed. Go ahead, Officer Thomas.
I wasn't about to say that, Cap, but I was just going to say that there are a lot of people that know that Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. And remember that Trump ran his campaign on saying, we're going to release these Epstein files. And now that he got pushback, he's saying, oh, look, he's dead. We need to move on from this. Look at all the good things I'm doing for America, trying to shy away from even talking about releasing these Epstein files. And the things that they have released have already been opened already. So it's null and void.
Charlie Kirk began to become critical of the Israeli government. And a lot of these Caucasians are like, look, okay, fine. We sent weapons in the past, but what about America? What about the American highway infrastructure? What about the American homeless problem? What about the American medical problem? If we're going to send tens of billions of dollars annually over there, what if we took half of that and spent it here? And a lot of Esau is starting to smell that, and that's why the Israeli power is running out. And they want to silence people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, just know that, like Captain Matt said, this is a Jewish man. Now, these are just facts that we're pulling up. Go back to that, remember we started with Greta Thunberg. We wanted to show the high profile, and that how anytime you're critical of anything to do with the Israeli lobby, there's pressure put on you, okay? Matter of fact, I saw something earlier this week. They said they were paying social media influencers $6,600 to $7,300 per article that was in support of the Israeli government per article. So if I'm a starving writer and you're going to offer me $7,500, they've got, and a lot of that money is our money, the U.S. money that is given to them.
Hey,
Okay?
Cap, that's it's funny that you brought that up because I actually just sent a video of Netanyahu saying that they need to take over social media influencers.
Play it.
Can y'all play it?
Yes. So all of this, I'm telling y'all got to understand.
Tucker Carlson.
This is another guy. This is another guy that do not be surprised if this guy either, well, hopefully nothing happens to any of these people because we don't wish any harm on anybody.
Right.
But don't be surprised if this guy just changes career and they give him out because he is shaking stuff up. He's the next Charlie Kirk. Candace Owens, our sister, who unfortunately is, well, it is what it is, but our sister, she is very, very outspoken and critical, along with that lady, that Congresswoman Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Play that.
Prime Minister of Israel goes on television to openly meddle in internal American politics, taking sides, attacking people, Americans, because they're not fully on board with sending billions more to a country of 9 million people?
He talked about the woke right, and he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're Louisiana. We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok, number one. And the other one, X. You know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. We have to fight the fight.
Anyone who opposes me in the United States, who opposes more aid to Israel or opposes getting sucked into war with Iran, which does not serve American interests, that person is not simply mistaken or wrong. I'm not going to bother to explain why that person is wrong. That person is a Nazi, part of the woke Reich.
Pause. So now it's not just the left, it's the conservative right. And also, he said something that's very heavy. If we're sending, I want you to Google, what would it take in billions of dollars to end American homelessness? Google that. Because the amount of money that we send to Israel, both for military and civilian budget, is billions and billions and billions of dollars annually. And the amount of billions of dollars that could end homelessness in this country could be accomplished by withholding that money to the Israeli government. I'm going really a sidetrack here, but please. Okay. It says, you had it.
Just hit the back button.
And let's just say it might be off by $1 billion or $2 billion, but let's just, in general, right? Read that.
How much money would end homelessness? Projecting the report's estimates to the entire state, California would have to commit about $10 billion a year for a decade, and that's just for housing.
Okay, so that's just California. California, I've been there. A lot of us have been there. It is the worst homelessness in all of the country. There's a place called Skid Row. Here's the point. There's billions of dollars. It would probably, let's just say it's $100 billion throughout the whole country, right? Type in what was sent. Now, they're not going to tell us everything. What was sent last year to the Israeli government? And I know that it's a lot of money. It's a huge amount. I don't want to jam us up. Tell you what, we'll come back to that unless you have it. This AI is pretty quick.
17.9 billion.
Okay. So almost $18 billion, and I think it's more than that, but that's a lot of money. So let's just say, for example, $20 billion, California is the worst. $20 billion could end the vast majority of homelessness annually in the United States. And we're sending that. Think about we're sending $18 billion to a country that has 9 million people, and we have 365 million people in this country. That makes no sense. Yep. And Esau is starting to say, wait a minute. I know that there's allegedly the chosen people of God, but we got people that's poor as hell. We got people that's struggling here, and they don't even have as many people. We got more people in New York City than they got in the whole country of Israel. You got to really see what's going on here. All right? Go back to that number 2, because we went way off track. But I want to show you, when you criticize the Israeli, and this before you was an anti-Semite. No, watch this now. They're not calling Marjorie Taylor Greene an anti-Semite. They use different tactics with they call them the woke Reich. The Reich was the German Reich that was Nazis. Now they'll label them as Nazis, which is trying to hit them hard to associate them with being Hitler-like. With us common folks, you're just an anti-Semite. I'm telling you, these people are some wicked-ass people. Okay, yes. We're going to read, it should be an article.
Strike called in Italy. Protests flare over interception of Gaza aid ships.
Okay, now this was yesterday. As of today, many have, I think almost all of them have been boarded and brought to Israeli ports, okay? And they're going to, I think the video said that they're going to process them and deport them back to their countries, okay? And that was one, Greta Thunberg, the one that famous activist, Edomite from Sweden. Read.
Rome, October 1st. Italian unions called a general strike for Friday in solidarity with the international aid Florida for Gaza, while protests sprang up in a number of cities late on Wednesday after reports that the ships had been intercepted by military personnel.
Now, we're not going to read the whole thing. What I want you to understand is that Italy is a country in Europe. Italy has unions, and not just in one city, Italian unions, plural, with an S. Throughout the country of Italy, there are protests in solidarity for what's happening to the flotilla. That is just in Italy. Now, I want you to Google real quick on a YouTube short, something simple. Type in protest over flotilla's capture. And you're going to find that they're protesting all over Europe right now. Just like they protest all over Europe with NATO got to go before October 7th, before all that happened. Remember the farming strikes? They've been very upset with their governments siding with Israel, siding with the U.S. Okay?
Yeah, when you look at it, Cap, a lot of people, because of social media, are now very aware at what's going on, especially when they was trying to do that ban on TikTok a couple years ago because of what people were posting about what was happening in Gaza. And it was like coming down on them, like, we gotta ban TikTok and we gotta force China to sell it and stuff like that, because the truth of the information that's coming out, they can no longer hide it. Right. So it's not like you can say this person is bad and everybody's just gonna believe it. Now they got the tools to research what you're saying. That's why they're starting to lose their grip on the world, and now they're gonna start turning it up.
And that's what Netanyahu said. We have to pay people to tell our narrative. And listen, people are desperate. They broke media. Next thing you know, they're getting $8,000, and then they get they talk to this person, and now they got a better job as a reporter, making more money, all because you've listened to the Israeli lobby. Now, forget about this video. Go to number 3, because what I'm looking for is protests in other countries about the flotilla. Because it's not just Italy. It's happening in parts of, I think, Ireland and different other countries that are enraged. The Netherlands, they're enraged at what's going on. Okay, this is Amnesty International. These are sports. Let's read this article real quick. It's not just the political world. I think this is the sports world. They're like, we're not even letting the Israeli football team get down with us.
Damn.
The people, and I want you to get me Jeremiah 50 about the least of the flock, because the power that God has given these Israelis is absolutely amazing. A country of less than 9 million people is dictating policies for the entire world right now. And because the greatest of the flock, Esau, Babylon the Great, is going to have to follow Israeli, the Allah. They're going to have to, because God is making it happen. It's amazing. One quote has said, It's amazing how 9 million so-called Jews are able to put fear in billions of Arabs in that region. It's amazing. Okay, the whole world is against this, with the except of that one veto in the U.S. International Court. All right, read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord.
Hear ye the counsel of the Lord. Read.
That he had taken against Babylon.
He had taken against Babylon because he's going to use them to destroy Babylon. Even though they think that the Israeli lobby is for the U.S., the Israeli lobby is going to be the one that gets Babylon destroyed. And a lot of these Edomites, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, realize that, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. There's nothing Charlie Kirk could have done. There's nothing that Tucker Carlson, there's nothing that me, you, anybody could do to stop it. Read.
And his purposes.
Yes, sir.
That he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans.
Right, come on.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
The flock is talking about a race. It's talking about a people. Okay, so the Russians are in that flock. Okay, the United States is in that flock. The Israelis are in that flock. The Italians are in that flock. The least of the flock, because if you look at Italy, if you look at Portugal, if you look at France, if you look at all England, they have many, 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 many more people, many, much bigger militaries. But because of this prophecy, all of the things you're seeing have to happen. Watch this.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Draw who out? Draw Babylon out to World War III. On how many fronts? One, the Ukrainian front that's going on, that Russia's going to get involved. China's already talking about it. Then you have everything to do with Israel and the Middle East in that Persian Gulf region. All of that right now, those are the two, and God's going to use all of them to go against Babylon. Read.
Mm-hmm. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
Right. It's going to burn. That's what Babylon's going to burn. Read.
At the noise of the taking of Babylon.
They're going to take it. They're going to bomb the hell out of this place. This is what we got to get right. This is what, we all sick. Let's read the global article.
Global Amnesty International calls on FIFA and the UEFA to suspend Israeli Football Association. Amnesty International has sent a letter to FIFA and the UEFA calling on them to suspend the Israeli Football Association, the IFA, from their tournament until it excludes clubs based in illegal settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory, the OPT, from continuing to play in Israel's football leagues.
You got to understand that internationally, when they say football is really referring to what we call soccer here, y'all at home. And soccer, a.k.a. football, is the most popular sport in the world. Yep. It's much more popular than basketball. It's much more popular than football, American football. It is more popular than even baseball. Football, soccer, is the world sport, okay? Now, for the world sport to come together, not just the, let me see them acronyms again. Scroll up. The FIFA. FIFA is a... what is FIFA? Is the oh God, what does it stand for?
Let me get it real quick.
FIFA is a major it's something football associated. Football.
The Federal International Football Association.
Yeah. Okay, that is the organization, and the UEFA. Both of them are calling to suspend the Israeli. And guess what? And I guarantee some of them might be black countries. Mostly those are Caucasian countries. So the world is up in arms. Let's read the quotes and we're going to carry on. It says, as Israel's national football team
gears up for the World Cup qualifiers against Norway and Italy.
See that? Norway and Italy. Interesting, because Italy, they're having strikes in the unions in multiple cities because of the flotilla's interception by the Israeli government. By the way, they were confiscated in international waters, which was illegal, and they did it anyways because nobody can do anything at all to them. No one can touch them. Read.
Israel continues to perpetrate genocide against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Over 800 athletes, players, and sports officials are among the more than 65,000 people Israeli forces have killed in a deliberate campaign of wholesale devastation.
Y'all gotta understand, they killed 800 athletes, so some of them was probably coaches, some athletes, some referees. 800 out of, and by the way, it says 65,000 people. I saw a report, and I think it may come out later. They estimated it's 3 times the number of deaths. It might be closer to 170,000 people, 185,000 people. You multiply 65 by 3, hell, it's almost 195. It's almost 200,000 people have died, plus the injured. So that is a low number that they represent. The point is that in the people in the football league throughout the world, they're like, you're killing our players now. Well, this is now beyond the political. You're killing sports players, okay?
Not to mention the fact that a country like Norway is part of NATO. They're part of NATO, and if you're going against what they have set up, like, they're going to have something to say about it. That, like you said, Cap, football or soccer is a very important thing outside of this country. Very important. It brings a lot of people together, and a lot of people are influenced by it. They hold a great big stake in football itself.
Facts. Hey, do me a favor. Type in what is the world's, what Cap Matthews saying is heavy, because type in the largest soccer or football stadium. They hold like some up to 100,000s. In those games, you go to England, you go to Portugal, you go to Sweden. It's a huge, there's a guy named, what's the super guy? The superstar, Ronaldo is a guy, like he's worshipped like a god. 114,000 people.
Damn.
That's in North Korea. And a lot of them hold 80,000. The point is that Cap said they're very, very, it is a cultural statement. For the FIFA to ban the Israeli sports team, I'm going to tell you something. If it wasn't for the U.S., they would be destroyed right now. And it's prophetic. It's prophecy that they not get touched. Because with them, God's going to launch the attack on the World War III.
With that, we read the little TikTok short of what Netanyahu was saying. Notice how dumb the American people is. He openly saying we're going to use Twitter and TikTok for propaganda to speak for Israel. That's how dumb the American people is. They have no idea that he's saying, and he said, look, we're going to talk to Elon. We're going to talk to him. So it just goes to show that, our people, not just only us, but even the American people just don't know how blatantly open and disrespectful he's saying. We're going to use propaganda to push what I want using America.
Do me a favor. Before I forget, I'm going to forget this. You said Netanyahu. Type in council walks out on Bibi Netanyahu's speech. He gets called up to speak at the assembly. And there's like half of the room. And these are not just Arabs that walk out. Many countries get up and walk out.
Yeah.
That's a level of disrespect that is not seen. These people are sick and tired of what these Israelis are doing. Okay? And here's the key. No one really cares if Chad or Morocco or let's say even South Africa walks out, because they consider them less than. They're brown people, they're tan people. But when you have people from first-rate Caucasian countries walk out, that's a problem. And again, it's what? Yes, this is it. This is it. Play from the very beginning.
A mass exodus at the UN General Assembly.
So let's look at this. Let's get my Bishop Yawasab on. All the chairs were full. When they have a meeting, it is mandatory. You see the little name tapes? You got China. It is mandatory for them to be there, to represent their country. Okay? This is the United Nations. They can't, hey, oh, Chuck, I can't make it today. They got a backup if this guy can't make it. Here's the point. Look at how many empty chairs there are, and look at the mass formation of, looks like columns of two getting ready to walk out. And I see some brown folks, but I also see some Caucasians in that line too. Why is that important? I keep saying that because when enough of these Caucasian countries band together, prophecy will be fulfilled. And because of the position, the U.S. is going to defend the Israelis until the very end, and God is going to use that for the Valley of Mageddon. Okay?
I get a script cap.
Of course.
Get Obadiah verse 2.
Yes, sir.
That video right there is a testament that the Bible is a real book.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
It's the Bible is a real book. Y'all not going to talk about that this is the Arabs. Esau is not the Arabs. Ain't Esau the Arabia. Shut up. Read that. Obadiah verse 2.
The book of Obadiah, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
If that ain't proof positive that they are greatly despised, as soon as this dude gets up at the podium, everybody starts walking out. He is greatly despised. Esau is greatly despised. We are in that American bubble where we think that, everybody loves and this is that and the third, and it's all about here and love and love everybody and let's hold hands. But as soon as you start leaving this country, you start seeing how things really are in the whole world, you will see that this country, Israel, the state of Israel, is hated, greatly despised. Why? Because one, they're betrayers, they strong-arm people, they take over things, they're genocidal and homicidal maniacs, and people don't like that. They don't. These other nations, they're not going to stand for it much longer.
Let's just look at the first couple of rows. They're completely empty. You got a couple of that looks like some Asian guys that are in that 1, 2, 3, 4th row in the middle. Other than that, and this is, they might not have got the word to leave yet. But this should be a short video, right? Okay, let's from the very beginning. We're gonna watch it.
Protest. As Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu prepared to address the chamber.
Please, order in the hall.
To those calling for an immediate end to the genocide in Gaza, his message was unequivocal.
Look at the middle.
Hey, rewind it a little bit.
Just like 5 seconds. Y'all got to understand, this is unprecedented in the United. Remember, these are not your beer-drinking guys from Ireland. Each one of these is the who has probably a master's or a PhD. They're very highly esteemed. They're diplomatics. They're diplomats from their country. And to get nominated to be the UN representative for your country, you are you have a very high caliber education and background. For those people to get up and walk out peacefully and screaming anything, it says a lot. And here's the thing. Two things. Either they spontaneously walked out, that's even more impressive, or they talked about this. How the hell they all just know to get up? Either that they're all just infuriated, which is that's the best thing, or they actually talked about it. What's one or the other? But let's continue on.
Those calling for an immediate end to the genocide in Gaza.
Stop. Pause it. That's the image that we wanted to see. Look at the chairs. Just look at the chairs. They're damn near all empty. All of them. And there's a reason why they are greatly despised. A lot of these people, they hold interests in NATO. They hold interests in so-called the harmony between these different countries. They hold interest in the political agreements that they hold between each country. And Netanyahu, Bibi, is a threat to all of that. And everybody knows that nobody's going to stop this guy because he's backed by America.
And to the point where he's backed by America, right? We're in the interest of time. We're gonna just know that they walked out, and they were very for a diplomat to do that, multiple, it is a very disrespectful gesture. Now, let's go to, I'm going to show you this. There's an article number 3. Okay. Or did we just read that? Okay. Not 3. Go to, I'm going to show you what, number 4, in article number 4, I'm going to prove, well, I want you to type in images of Gaza rubble. Just type in images of Gaza rubble. To get the level of destruction that the Israelis did to the city of Gaza, you have to have had the ideology that we're going to read about in this article. You had to have that from the beginning. You didn't follow any battle protocols with regards to bombing in a very urban area. When you bomb hospitals, and then when they get there and the rescue workers are there at the hospital actually helping, you bomb them once they get there and trying to rescue them. This is the, look at that, look at the rubble. There are billions of Arabs, and you're telling me that they allow the killing of almost 185,000 more Arabs or more and injure more, and they do this to a city of over 2 million. You're trying to tell me that this is not God? Only 9 million people, the Arabs and the Islam world, how are they not done yet? As God is keeping them preserved. I'm telling you, man, God is behind all this. Now, let's go to Article 4. Now the Israelis are saying now what they always have felt in their heart and always had in all their policies. What? Let's read the headline twice, Sadiah.
Israel threatens all staying in Gaza City, kills at least 53 in enclave.
Right. Now, I'm sorry. Very good. Read the subtitle right below. Listen to what he is about to say here. Has been the mission objective from day one. They always thought this. Read that.
Israeli Defense Minister Katz says anyone who stays in Gaza City will be considered terrorists and terror supporters.
That's why they killed reporters. They killed white reporters from other countries there. There's nothing, anybody that was there in their way was Hamas or Hamas supporters. And now they're finally saying it. And when is this from? This is today or yesterday? Maybe today. This is today. So they waited. Remember, it was October 7, 2023 when that whole thing started. They have destroyed almost every inch of that city. And 2 years later, now they're saying that. They've always felt that way. Let's read the first couple paragraphs.
Yes, sir. At least 53 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks since dawn across Gaza as Israel threatened tens of thousands remaining in Gaza City with a forced order to leave.
They're forcing them to leave. Read.
Saying it was their last opportunity to flee or face the full force of Israel's assault.
Listen, y'all. Most are going to intervene at the end. They will kill every single one of them Palestinian Arabs. They're going to kill them all. And this is where, get me that 2 Esdras 15. Mm-hmm. There's only so much you can do to a people before they rise up. And God is holding all of this back. And we keep reading it. Just got to read the scripture. Read 2 Esdras 15. I think it's 27 or 29.
Yes, sir. The book of 2 Esdras, chapter 15, verse 28.
Uh-huh.
Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east.
From the where?
From the east.
From the east. They call that place the Middle East. Read on.
Verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
The nations of the dragons of Arabia include, pull up a map of the Persian Gulf. There are, well, I don't know if there's there might be a billion Arabs. I said billions. There's at least there probably is a billion Arabs. And not to mention all of the large Arab population that lives in the United States, in Australia, in England, in Europe. Look at that. You have, let's name some countries. You've got Israel, Palestine. That's a small sliver up there. You got Egypt. Those are all Arabs. You got Saudi Arabia. Arabs, it's in the name. Jordan, Yemen, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, which we went into that before. That's an offset of Iraq. There are Arabs in parts of Iran. All of that is thick with Arabs. And then if you could scroll up, like Cap Matt said, Syria, Jordan, and Palestine, which is Lebanon, which is the country directly north of Israel. All of these are thick with Arabs. And there's only so much they're going to do before God puts it in their heart. Read on.
Shall come out with many chariots.
Read on.
And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
Right. In order for the multitude to come together, they got to be on one mind. Read on.
That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Nobody worry about the Arabs right now. But there's going to come a day, these Edomites, they're going to worry about them. Read on.
Also, the Carmanians.
That's the ancient name for the Iranians today. The Iranians today. And guess what? The Carmanians, I want to say about 6 months or maybe 3 to 6 months ago, they were attacked in the 12-day war. Yep. They sent missiles and breached the Iron Dome. They breached the Iron Dome with outdated missiles. They didn't even use their hypersonic missiles. Mm-hmm. So, why didn't the Lord let them destroy Israel then? Because they could have. It's because it's going to be, the Arabs got to move first. Read on.
Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Right. Watch this.
And with great power shall they come and join battle with them.
With who? The Arabs. Read on.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
That's not talking about the ancient Assyria, because the ancient Assyria been passed. Babylon came after ancient Assyria. This is talking about Assyria is another name for Babylon the Great and the offset of Israel. That's Israel, rather. Excuse me. Read.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand.
They have the lower hand right now. Right now, they got Qatar. Qatar was bombed. And Trump's like, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do a new peace contact. And now they go back to sleep.
Hey, Cap, to your point, they even got Egypt right now trying to convince all of the other Arab countries to accept the peace deal. So that's how you know that they got the lower hand. They don't have the upper hand yet, because even Egypt is still like, well, just take the deal. Just take the deal. Nah, wait till that spirit gets riled up in them again.
Ishmael is a wild man. They have blessings. Read on.
Remembering their nature.
Because they forgot their nature. Like Cap said, they have a lower hand. They're going to have the upper hand. Why? Because they have a couple of things. They have geography. Okay, they have all their militaries are right there. And when they actually get the same mind, and they're not worried about, once they get in that day, when they rise up, they're not going to worry about if you take out 40% of their army, because they have a purpose. And you killed 200,000 of my Arab brothers up there. And they're probably going to be so pissed that they allowed it to go on so long. It says, read it again, upper hand.
And then the dragons have the upper hand.
The Arabs shall have the upper hand. Read on.
Remembering their nature.
They forgot who they are. They remember who they are now. Read on.
And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together.
That's the point. Conspiring and planning together. Right now they're divided. The Saudi Arabians, it's crickets. Qatar gets bombed. Where's Saudi Arabia at? The Palestinians get bombed. Look at the size of Saudi. Look how much trillions of dollars. What about, where are they at? Read on.
And great power to persecute them.
Right. They have no power. There's going to come a time the Lord is going to give them power. Why? Because the prophecy must come to pass. Now, go back to that real quick. We're way behind. Y'all get a chance to read the rest of that article, number 4. Go to, did we read 5 yet? Okay, 5. So basically what's going on right now is we just read that they're gonna force all the Palestinians to destroy them all. They're letting them leave Gaza. They're not letting them come back in. Some people are leaving to search for food outside of Gaza and bring back to, they're allowing them to leave. they don't allow the Arabs' palate to come back into the land. Watch this. Read this.
Israel blocks main road to Gaza City, gives residents last chance to leave.
So after this article, we're going to go to break, y'all, and we're going to come back, and we're going to deal with all of the division at home.
Cairo, October 2nd.
That's Egypt. Captain Matt just mentioned Egypt.
Israeli tanks blocked the main road to Gaza City on Thursday, preventing those who have left the besieged city from returning. And Defense Minister Israel Katz.
Remember, Katz was in the other article. He said before, now anybody that's in that land is deemed as a terrorist or a terrorist threat. They've always thought that. How can you almost kill 200,000 people and injure more and decimate and absolutely destroy building after building after building if you don't already think like that? Read on.
Said it was now the last chance for hundreds of thousands of people still inside to escape. Israel has told the entire million-strong population of Gaza City to head south.
By the way, when it says million strong, do me a favor. Type in what is the population of Gaza in 2022. Type in what was the population of Gaza in 2022? They said 1 million strong, right? Watch this. These Israelis are trying to, two things they want to do. They want to make their own Suez Canal, and another thing they want to do is they want that as real estate. It's some of the best positioning on the planet Earth. Okay? You see that? There was 2.17 million people. Right now, there's about 1 million strong in Gaza. Y'all got to understand, they killed about 200,000, 185,000. They injured more, but a lot of them left because they either starve to death or leave. I'm telling you, the ones that are staying behind, them are the die-hard Arabs. These are the die-hard Arabs. And now they're saying, okay, we tried it the easy way. Now, any of you that stay, doesn't matter who you are, you're either Hamas or you're terrorists or related to that, or you're going to go. This is another level of evil right here. Okay, I think that's it, right? Okay, this is what we're going to do. In the interest of time, it's 10:39. We are going to take a break now. Y'all, we got some commercials that are going to play. When we come back, we're going to touch base real quick on that. We're going to deal with all the things that are happening in Babylon at home that is dividing the country. And there's a lot that happened this week. So with that, stick around, y'all. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Why do you subscribe? IUIC New Orleans, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Help us to grow. Comment, like, share. What's going on? Make it happen.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We Feast of Tabernacles 2025 out here in New Orleans. We got the Baton Rouge congregation, we got the New Orleans congregation, came together, collab, we at the park, we keeping the Lord's feast day. It's the Sabbath, all praise to the Most High. We've been out here all week. We got the young prophets behind us. We got brothers in the back behind them. They going over scriptures. We got the sisters that's over there. They going over scriptures. Hey, we building up the nation of Israel one brick at a time. Stay tuned, because y'all know we about to do it big. Shalom. Hey, Shalom.
Everywhere we go, we see our people. Our people are all over the planet Earth. When the Bible says, go ye to all nations, it means that, because that's why people are scattered.
So what do you mean? Who's that biggest tip?
That's the devil.
être lié. Là, vous parlez, on va pas se le chevet peut coucher avec l'explication de biblique.
And leading to sex or premarital sex, it leads to judgment.
There's no heaven, there's no hell, and there ain't such thing called sin.
For sin is the transgression of the law. The Bible says sin is a transgression of the law. So if you sin, that means you transgress God's law.
Hey, Shalom Israel, welcome back, precept upon precept. So the first half of the show, put up the thumbnail real quick. We're going to look, pause it right there. I want to go back to the title. All right, so the title of the show is Babylon is Breaking, Division Home and Abroad. First, we covered abroad all the things that's going on with the flotilla being captured by the Israeli Defense Force. Also, in the outrage, not just in Italy, but throughout Europe, the fact that they're trying to provide civilian humanitarian relief to Gaza and they will not allow it, capturing them in international waters. Then we covered also about the tragedies that's going on in Gaza and all the other things that is sparking the U.S. to back the Israeli forces, and how if anybody speaks against the Israeli government and what they're doing, they're either targeted, we believe some of these folks were killed on behalf of it, and so that's what's going on abroad. And people, even the world FIFA, World Soccer Organization, saying you can't even, your team can't even be in there. Also, Netanyahu at the United Nations was walked out on by dozens and dozens and dozens of diplomats from different countries, showing you how the world sees, okay, this Israeli government as the evil, demonic, genocidal maniacs that they are. Okay, now, what's happening at home? Type in, I want to come back to 6 and 7. Let's deal with number 8. They just had a meeting of over 750, almost 800 generals and admirals. And admiral's the top guy in the Navy, and I believe the Coast Guard. Then you have the Marines, the Army, and the Air Force, which are generals. And they all got, it was an estimated cost of $100 million to get all these men to sit in this room, right? A lot of these in international bases, the freedom schedule, all this airfare, all of that, right? They don't fly coach. These guys fly with special planes. Now, this is Pete Hegseth, I think his name is. Hegseth. He is a former platoon sergeant. He was a Marine. He spent some time, I think and he is now going to criticize, because what happened to the U.S. government? The U.S. government under the Democratic Party became what they call woke. There was gender fluidity, men and women's sports, fat Army guys. All this was allowed under Biden's watch, like Trump says. They're trying to clean up all of that. What they don't realize, it's too late. And they're trying to desperately fight to get that great America back. But the damage has been done. So this is Pete, whatever his name is, Hegseth, talking to the generals that are in one room about things that need to be changed.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
Pause, and you know what? We get a lot of slack here in IUIC. We've been talking about this for years, and we're just trying to get brothers healthy. And so I agree with everything he's saying. If you're a military, you should be a fit, not a fat troop. So this is one of the things he was talking about, okay? And remember, when a country as great as the United States and powerful has to have a meeting like this is because they are starting to loot and break apart. Okay? They're allowing, you've got transgender troops, which is confusion. Some women are fighting in combat elements where they should not be. You got fat men that are doing jobs, certain things that should not be. He's saying, look, we got to get back to that strong like we did World War II when we conquered the enemy. That's what the energy he's coming with. That's an empire that is slipping apart. Get Daniel 2.
Hey, Cap.
Yes, sir.
That whole transitioning thing, too, like, they would literally do maybe a cumulative 6 to 9 months of actual service being a soldier, because outside of training, they give them like 2 years of recovery time. Damn. When they do their little transitions and got to take all their hormone pills and all of that stuff.
Oh.
So let's say your MOS is a year. So you got a year. So you got basic, which is 3 months. Then you got a year. That's 15 months. Then you got 2 years of recovery. I mean, after that, you got like less than a year of you doing actual soldiers' work, soldier duties.
So they get paid while they recovered.
Yep.
So let's think about that. That doesn't even make sense. Forget about what your opinion is on that. We know what God said, the changing of places. We know that a man is born with genitalia of a man to procreate, to have a marriage with a woman. That's what we believe. And we hope that all of our brothers and sisters that are like that they repent. Just like a murderer, we hope he repent. It's nothing personal. It's strictly Bible. But that makes no sense if you're creating a fighting force and you're creating weak troops.
Yep.
Okay? Watch Daniel chapter 2. I want the part where it says, I'm going to pull it up, partly miry clay.
The book of Daniel.
Start at verse 40.
Yes, sir. The book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron.
The fourth kingdom will be as strong as iron. Read on.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things. And as iron that
I'm sorry, it is 41.
Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes.
The feet and toes. The feet and the toes. Read.
Part of potter's clay.
So potter's clay is not strong. Read on.
And part of iron.
But iron is strong. Read on.
The kingdom shall be divided.
So they're partly strong like Rome was, but they're divided. Why? Read on.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
Right, because America's military, to get 800, how many militaries even have 100 generals? They have 800 generals. That shows you the vast power of the U.S. military. But watch this.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
Watch this.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a broken Babylon right now. Donald Trump is desperate to make America great again. Why? Because it's falling apart. Our highway, our roads are torn down. You've got all type of people. Homelessness is rampant throughout the streets. You've got these things are happening, and tens of billions of dollars are going outsourcing to build up other countries. It makes no sense. And guess what? There's nothing they could do about it. So what you're seeing here is the last attempts to try to make that military strong. It's too late. It's too late at this point. Now
they spent all of this time making things important that aren't important.
Exactly.
Like we was catching flights to different places, and we're like, man, these flights keep getting canceled and delayed and stuff like that. And we start talking to people like, yo, what's really going on? And like, okay, well, the pilots, the older pilots are starting to retire, and they don't have any newer pilots that are coming in behind them. Why? Because everybody wants to take a flight. Nobody wants to fly the plane. Social media has now made it official for you to be on vacation, but not be the person to fly the plane. Like everybody wants to drive a car. Nobody wants to fix it. Everybody wants, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to do some grandiose thing, but nobody wants to be the worker behind that thing. Like you were saying, you want to drive these fast cars, but who's going to fix the highway?
Right.
Who's going to build the bridges? Where is the technology? They haven't been pushing it for quite some time.
And when you pull up NAFTA, North American, NAFTA, and you had different agreements that made many, many, many thousands of businesses leave and outsource overseas. Like when that happened in Detroit. Detroit used to be called the Motor City. Now Detroit is got less than a third of the population it used to have. Detroit used to be millions of people. It's like a very small population, very downtrodden. Other major cities that had thriving industries, they all got up and left. You're left with these cities that are abandoned. And like Captain Matthew said, you don't have the industries. Whereas China, go to China right now, look at the technology they have. Look at the electric car technology. Look at the high-speed rails. Look at the bridge systems. It's absolutely incredible to the point where, because China invested in their country. China doesn't have 845 military bases. China invests billions and billions of dollars in public transit, in engineering, in production, and we're not doing any of that. And we cannot, the U.S. cannot compete with China, okay? And this is why, again, Babylon is breaking apart. So NAFTA, read that.
NAFTA stands for the North American Free Trade Agreement, a 1994 treaty between the United States, Canada, and Mexico designed to eliminate trade barriers and foster economic cooperation by removing most tariffs and other obstacles to trade. NAFTA facilitated the free movement of goods, services, and investment across the three member countries.
You see that? 1, 2, can you hear me?
So basically, what NAFTA did was actually take American businesses and put them in other countries. Like Cap was saying, it took all the skilled laborers and put it in these other countries, showing you again how America is divided.
Right. To the point they're divided that when it says North American free trade agreement, that's a problem. Because you allowed all these countries, and Donald Trump, and everything he's saying, I agree with to a certain extent about tariffs and getting American business in other countries. For example, how come you can buy BMW, you can buy all these German cars, these German products, but where's the market for the U.S. in Germany? Where's the market for the U.S. in India? Why can't we sell a lot more products in China, but everything we have made in China? You know why? Because for years they had no or little to no tariffs. This is the product. God allowed this all to happen to build up to now. But in India, they don't. I can't just go to India and buy land. I can't just go to India and, or China and buy land. But they can come here and do that. They could come here, become a green card, and come here, get a citizen, come here and become a second generation citizen, meaning they were born and raised in China until they're 40 years old, come over here, pass certain things, get U.S. citizenship, and buy up all kind of land. Some are buying land near military bases. And guess what? If their loyalty is to China, guess who has the land? So this has been a big free-for-all in this country. And this is what Trump is right. Trump was talking about this on the Oprah Winfrey Show in early 1980s, 84. He was talking about the same thing. But it's too late for that. It's too late for you to go back and now try to bring all this industry back. It's too late. Like Cap said, people want to take vacation, drive nice cars, and fly in planes, but they don't want to take the time to become a pilot, take the time to build the bridges, to go to school. This is why all the crap, God is allowing this. All the crap that is in our food system. If you go to Europe, if you go to parts of England particularly, they have what's called a sugar tax and a salt tax. Whereas if a company wants to sell regular Coca-Cola with 42 grams of sugar, they got to pay more and pass it on to the consumer. So their sodas over there, their pop, as y'all say, is much lower in sugar. Because a lot of European countries actually care about their citizens. That's why the obesity rate is directly correlated to be much lower. The U.S. is horrible. We're the most obese country and the most diseased country in the whole planet Earth. Why? God is making weak people. Weak people don't become engineers. Weak people don't become pilots. Weak people don't go into moving this country forward. But they're doing it in Russia. They're doing it in China. They're doing it in India. A lot of times we get so frustrated at customer services, and we got no disrespect to the Indian people. We got an East Indian guy on the other end who speaks English, but there's no cultural content. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, I know what you're talking. No, like, and not mocking them, but you really feel like this guy doesn't have my best interest. That's what they're doing with everything. It's overseas, everything.
And Cap, to your point,
Bring it out.
America is a business company, and that's the reason why it is the way it is. It sells its citizens the American dream, and in that American dream comes the capitalistic, and then you get into debt, and then you owe money trying to chase after what you think is right, and then 20, 30 years from now, you in debt and you can't own nothing. That's what America's about, trapping its citizens and then outsourcing it to other people so they can make money. America's just a business. You come here to make money, but if you want a better life, you leave America. You go to Europe. You go to these other European countries.
I'm going to tell you right now, you see a lot of uprising in these cities like Portland, Chicago, major urban cities, because people are realizing, like Officer Thomas said, the American dream is going to be a nightmare. So there's a reason why they're doing these test runs with the National Guard. They started in Los Angeles. Then it was, I think, Washington, D.C. They're in Chicago. They just made it to Portland. They're going to Memphis. There's talks in New Orleans. Why? Click number 9. Number 9, Trump hints at something. Why would a U.S. president say this? Because I'm going to tell you right now, things are going to change. What? So this is the same meeting when Trump, so all the generals and the admirals in the audience, Heck said his part. Now Trump is going to come on and mention something here. And this is Daniel 2 all day, right? This is Daniel 2 all day. Read, play.
Strongest military anywhere in the world. Speaking to a room packed with nearly 800 of America's top military leaders summoned from around the world, President Trump covered a dizzying range of topics, including the suggestion that U.S. troops should be sent to American cities to fight what he called the war from within.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
Senator Jack Reed, the top Democrat on the Senate Armed Services Committee, called that suggestion a dangerous assault on our democracy, treating our own communities as war zones. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth opened the meeting going after what he calls woke policies put in place by previous administrations.
You kill people and break things for a living. You are not.
A top
pause that real quick. Hey, it is Daniel 2, like Cap said, but it's also Matthew 12:25. Can we get that real quick? Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. Because the Bible's a true book, and you can see it all day long if you study and reading. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. And Jesus knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. As you can clearly see, America is divided against itself. Hey, y'all can play the video. Keep landing because the Bible's playing.
For Hegseth, ordering a return to the highest male physical fitness standards.
I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men.
Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth, an Iraq War combat veteran, pushed back.
There already are established standards, and we already have people in jobs, in combat roles, who are already qualified and well-trained.
But Hegseth had this message for those present who didn't agree with him.
If the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign.
Damn. Among the directives,
You gotta understand, they spent almost $100 million to fly these generals and admirals in from all over remember, 800, type in number of U.S. military bases. And Cap, you pointed out, if you pull that up, and it should show you that there's over 100 in just the country of Japan alone. I couldn't believe that.
Yep.
I could not believe this staggering statistic. If you could pull that up, it should be number of military. It should give you a map. It's like 845 that they'll let us know about. If we can find that.
Yeah, that's just the ones that they tell us about because there's a lot of black sites they don't tell you about.
And while they looking that up, it's hard for me to think that it's a coincidence that Israel United in Christ has been pushing a health standard for about 2 years now, and now all of a sudden the United States military is wanting to push a health standard. They read the Bible and they see Ezekiel 37 happening, and they're like, "Hey, we have to get ready." Y'all can think that this isn't a direct response to what's going on here, but the Bible's a true book. That's all I can. It's a true book.
That's why, brothers, we got to be in shape. And it's matter of fact, give me 1 Corinthians 11, just because, just in case the bishop will say, Bishop Nathaniel, in case you crazy brothers out there, the weapons of our this is not a physical fight, not until Christ's return. We are sheep led to the slaughter, and that's why we have to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove, and use the words of God as our weapons and tools of war. But we should still be physically strong, because if your body that you're carrying the Spirit in is weak and diseased, how can you do the work of the Lord? So we need to be healthy. Read that.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4.
Thank you.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right. This is not a physical fight, brother. So the U.S. military he said, your job is to break and destroy things. Our job, according to Jeremiah, is to break things with the word of God, meaning we're going to break down strongholds. And when you read Ephesians 6, we're going to break down the higher power that has captivated and brainwashed our people, brain dirtied our people into different doctrines and take us away from our God. Read on.
But mighty through God to the putting down of strongholds.
And those strongholds are ideologies, philosophies, and doctrines of men. And we need to teach the doctrine of Christ, which is God's commandments in the faith of his death for the Israelites. Now, go back to that. Did you find a military bases?
Hey, not only that, Cap, but, the Bible says we are gods, right?
Right.
I only know of one fat God, and that's Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
So either you are a God like Christ or you're Buddha. Really?
Severus, repent. Severus and Captain Abiel, repent. These are my brothers. And here's the thing. In IUIC, when you're a fat back, giant, lard ass, we get on you. We don't get on the women because the women they eat too many emails. But the men are ranked men. You're going to all get to the green. You're going to get in shape, okay? Because we should not have any fat soldiers, okay? Read that.
The United States operates approximately 750 military bases in foreign countries.
Now, we know it's more than that because we literally have something that says 845. Now, but over 80 different nations and territories. Y'all got to understand. No military comes even close to that.
Nope.
Okay, that's it on that. Go back. It should be the last. We're almost running. We're winding down. Actually, we got some time.
That's why it calls it the great horde that sitteth upon many waters. Because look at what happens. Any one of those countries get out of line, say anything that the U.S. deems a threat, they're sending people to you. And they're not going to be far away. They may be right next door. They may be a hop, skip, and a jump right away from you. They're going to come see you. That's why Isaiah 14 talks about him that ruleth the nations in anger.
Number 10 is a TikTok video, okay? This TikTok video, it is not only when he said about abroad, about making sure the standards are up, no more fat soldiers. He talked about going to American cities and actually practicing on these rough cities. This is a video. Now, what happened? I was talking to Captain Matthews, the ride up here, is that Ice Cube is actually, he's not a leftist. He's not a woke left. Ice Cube is very conservative, right? And Trump found out that, see, Ice Cube was touring, doing a rap tour in Portland. And apparently Antifa has a problem with Ice Cube. Maybe it's something that he said or something. They don't like him. And they targeted his tour bus, and I guess they were kicking and throw rocks and vandalizing like Antifa does, right? Trump got wind of it, and he actually, and I think they were already on their way or whatever, but they actually came in a formation. So I guess Trump likes Ice Cube. Interesting. But check this out. So they were already going to, they're going to be in a lot of these American cities. Why? Because like Daniel said, this kingdom is partly strong and partly weak. It projects a powerful international global colonial power. But at home, you got broken highways, broken cities, broken families, this degenerate, diseased, fat society. This place is weak. And guess what? And the other nations are starting to see it. Play.
This is rapper named Ice Cube. You know Ice Cube, After Police, NWA Ice Cube, also Cult Classic Friday. He's on some type of tour right now. One of those tour stops is Portland. Portland is home to Antifa. Ice Cube on his tour bus got the words Ice Cube written on it. Antifa sees that, they're like going to a blind rage. It's like a bull seeing red. So they firebomb it, right? Destroy the bus. Trump gets wind of this by his homegirl, Kristi Noem. Antifa violated. Trump is like, I know these dudes ain't testing my gangster. I know they not. I just designated them as a terrorist organization. And they try to do this to me on the world stage. Bet. He calls Pete Hegseth. He's like, yo, spin that block. And
now the narrator, he's a TikTok guy. He's obviously a commentator, and he's using slang when he talks about this. But this really happened. And it's not just Portland, okay? It's Chicago. It's going to be many, they're going to send them to New York. And they're going to send National Guards in with M4s, okay, with live ammunition. And they're going to, I'm telling you, they're going to run exercises. So this is why, as the Israelites, we don't get involved politically. We don't get involved with Antifa. We don't get involved with protesting. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to follow the laws of the land, and we're going to keep God's commandments, and we're going to teach the Bible. Okay, that's what we got to. We got to let our words be true, and every man a liar. Because when you start getting into your own words, you start getting in trouble. Play on.
Those mofos feeling froggy, boil them. Now, Antifa, I'd appreciate nothing more but the content that
okay,
that's going to give the.
There's another one. That was the first one. Get me number. Let's see. Okay, so y'all check that out on your own. There's other places that they're going to. Type in one of you brothers, the tech. Type in what U.S. cities has Donald Trump sent the National Guard in? Remember, he sent the Marines to L.A. He meant the United States Marine Corps to L.A., which is first to fight. These guys are destroyers, along to work with the National Guard. Type in how many cities has Donald Trump deployed the National Guard, or if you could type in what are the expected cities. All right, while you do that, y'all research that and then pull up number. We're going to come back to that. Pull up number 11. So you have the armies meeting because of the weak, woke, fat U.S. military. Then you have this military being deployed throughout American cities, quelling uprise, as they say, in Chicago, Portland, D.C., Los Angeles. And now, just recently, it's all over the news, the U.S. government is in day number 2 of a shutdown. Now, put up the thumbnail one more time. In 1 week, y'all got to see this. You have all this stuff happening abroad with Israel and all the stuff they're doing. Babylon's backing them. And at home, you've got a government shutdown. You've got National Guard being deployed to various cities. And you've got and Netanyahu was walked out on in the United Nations Assembly, and also you have, what I just say? I forgot the last thing. Oh yeah, then you have the meeting all the generals, all in this 1 week. It shows you that Babylon that's a perfect thing. The crown is crumbling.
Yep.
The king of the earth, Babylon the Great, is crumbling. And guess what? It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Okay? You know what I like about that? Look at the crown when it breaks apart. It ain't even all gold. Look at the center of that. It's hollow. Parts of it look like either concrete, looks like it was hollow. So that's a perfect example, because and Daniel said it's partly strong and partly weak. And that's what you're seeing. Okay, play on. I'll read that.
U.S. government shutdown heads for the third day amid partisan standoff.
When it says partisan standoff, that means party standoff, meaning the Democrats and the Republicans. And all week, if you've been paying attention, that's what they've been talking about. How Chuck Schumer and the other light-skinned black dude is bucking up against the House of Representatives and the Congress, okay, which is Republican dominated. So watch, what are they holding up about? Read that. All this is happening this week, y'all. This week.
All right. We're wrapping up our live coverage of the government shutdown for now. No progress was made on Thursday.
So Thursday, the end of the business day, which is today, second day, no progress.
Earlier, Trump said he would be meeting with his budget director, Russell Vought, on Thursday to determine which Democratic agencies to cut.
Trump is going to use this as a way to cut Democratic agencies. And guess what? He planned to do that anyway. So he's looking at this as a perfect opportunity. And guess what? Many of these people that they cut, they're not going to have a job. After the freeze comes back and the government reopens, they will not have a job to go back to. Further showing you the weakness of Babylon. At the governmental level, it is falling apart. Remember the whole thing with Elon Musk the last 3-4 months ago? All the unnecessary spending, Social Security, taxes, billions of dollars being paid out, $20 million for research in gender identification in an African country. Crazy money going out. They found out all of that. Okay.
Don't forget about the $18 billion that they sent into Israel.
Right. That's a huge. We read before in California, $10 billion could end all of California's homelessness, which is probably a significant percentage. So all the money that's dumping out, okay, we could do a lot in this country, but it's designed not to. This is why the prophecy says, if you think about it, how could you have a country with that many generals and that strong of a military where everybody fears you, but a society that's fat, sick, weak, highways, planes is dirty, they do all kind of crazy stuff. You go to other countries and they are far more healthy, far better innovation, far better engineering in the way they're trying to move their country forward. It's amazing. This is why Daniel saw what he saw. Partly strong, partly weak. Why? Because anytime, like China is for Chinese people. America's for everybody. Everybody come together. How is it that Chinese nationals, meaning that their original nation is China, meaning if they were born and raised here, they would be American of Chinese descent. Many Chinese nationals, meaning that their adult lives, they were Chinese citizens, come here, either get dual citizenship or become an American citizen. How are they allowed to own thousands of acres in this country? We, on the other hand, could not do that in most countries. It shows you the level of weakness that this country has. And Daniel saw it. Okay, read.
There have so far been no updates on the meeting. He has already frozen federal transit and green energy funding for Democratic-leaning states and has threatened to fire more federal workers.
So remember, he had the big federal freeze before, okay? Now, all the green, it's a perfect excuse. Guess what? Okay, we're going to cut this where you want it. We're going to cut this. Read on.
White House spokesman Caroline Leavitt said Trump could fire thousands of workers, but she did not provide details.
Scroll down. Let's see if this is it. Okay, here, this is the guy. This is Chuck Schumer, okay? And the brother's name is, scroll down. I forget his name. Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Right. Read this.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer became the top Democrat in the Senate in 2016, replacing a retiring Harry Reid of Nevada. He took on the role as the parties prepared to deal with Trump during his first term. Schumer has been in the Senate since 1999.
So he's been in the Senate for 26 years. And this is why it's never going to change. And by the way, Chuck Schumer, if you don't think he doesn't support AIPAC and he supports all of that. So just because they have different parties, political parties, Democrats, they all are going to back Israel. And that's the thing that unites them. They all will unite for Israel. But they're divided about the people in this country, like housing, like healthcare, like infrastructure, where all that could benefit all the American people. They are not doing anything about it. Why? Because God is forcing them not to. God's forcing them to be at odds with each other. Okay? Let's read about House Minority Leader.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries was unanimously elected as the Democratic Party's leader in the House in 2022.
And that brother, and I pray that brother repent. That brother right there actually think he's got a voice. He has no voice. They make it appear that he has a voice. Read on.
He is the first black American to hold a top leadership
Stop. Scroll up to Chuck Schumer real quick. Okay. My question is this, right? Why can't Hakeem just be an American? Chuck Schumer, they never said anything about him being a white American. Why? Because Chuck Schumer is a real American to them. A black American is saying that, oh, yeah, him too. And that's what they do with our people. Okay?
It's amazing, Cap, that even in 2025, we still got the first black American.
Yeah.
First black American, because we ain't really part of your system, like Bishop brought out. We're denizens.
Exactly. Bishop Yawasop taught that class. We are denizens. Actually, Bishop Nathaniel and Bishop Yawasop talked about denizens. Why? Chuck Schumer, you will never hear Chuck Schumer ever be announced as the white. It will always be Chuck Schumer. He's just a congressman. But Hakeem is the black congressman. Like the black Baptists, like the black Masons. We will never get our rest in this captivity. And I hope this brother can repent. I hope he sees that this is the wrong path for him. Okay?
They got him in office just to give black people hope. They look at him and say, we still got a chance. That's what he up to. He just a token black dude, just like everybody else. Just like they got the black caucus.
Right.
It's for nothing. It's just for show.
It's to put that woke movement back to sleep, because that woke movement is really talking about black people.
And this is why when Zephaniah says we have to gather ourselves together, a nation not desired. That's why we just came out of Tabernacles. It was so important that we were out there. But this is not our rest, and everything that happens here is for us to learn. Because when we do the things that the Lord wants, give me Jeremiah 15:11. When we do the thing that the Lord wants, when all this, whether it be things that happen within these U.S. cities, when they send the National Guard in, whether it be shutting down food stamps and people getting harder for our people, because some of the government shutdown, by the way, the TSA, which is the airport security, and the military, they are obliged to work. They're working without pay right now. Many places like the parks and recreation, some trash will not get picked up. A lot of places will not have anything going on. Now, the longest government shutdown recently was, I think, within the last 10 years, 30 days. So all of this is a ploy. And as the people that are going to be hurt the most are going to be the Israelites. So this is why we got to come together, and we got to really put our trust in God. Jeremiah 15, verse 11.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 11.
15. 1-5.
Yes, sir.
It says, he shall protect, the remnant of the Lord shall return.
Yes, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 11. The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant.
So this is important. Now, I want you to go to verse... No, just go to 11, yeah?
The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant.
The remnant, when you go to the top of the chapter, is talking about the Israelites that will be scattered. Read on.
Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee.
And that's the problem. Christianity doesn't teach us. Islam does not teach us. Buddhism doesn't teach us about who our enemy is. Yes, our enemy can be from our kinsmen, our own flesh. We understand that. But the enemy is the enemy that has power over you in society, i.e., who is that? The Caucasians, the Edomites, they have power over us. So when we keep the commandments, as all of this unfolds, the government shutdowns, the military's coming into the towns and cities, or even the whole thing with the woke and the George Floyds of the world, the Ramarley Grahams, the Eric Garners, all these brothers and sisters who have died in police cars, all that should not move us. Why? Read it again.
I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction.
So when we as the remnant, the righteous remnant, those who keep the commandments of God, when we return and we keep tabernacles and we keep fighting lust and anger and hatred, it's not easy because, listen, I'm going to tell you something. We all struggle. We all struggle with hatred. We have and here's the thing. If you have self-hatred, if you're not satisfied with yourself, and you don't see that you will project that on other people. And we are sick. And if you think that in IUIC we do not have that problem, we have that problem. And we struggle with it daily. But the difference is we're not going out and fighting, brawling we're not going out there and committing adultery. And if we are, we're going to deal with you in the congregation. You're going to be put out. We have these thoughts. We have this anger, but we know what to do to battle these things. And the Christian church is not preparing our people spiritually for the fight to come. They're not preparing the Israelites. Read it again.
The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant.
That's the remnant who keep the commandments. Read on.
Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction.
So that is Jeremiah. Now read Revelation 17. No, I'm sorry. Revelation 12, 17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17.
So when Jeremiah talked about the remnant that returns shall be treated well in the time of affliction, in the time of tough times, right? Watch what John, who lived many, many hundred years later, talked about. Start at verse 1.
Yes, sir. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Now, I'm sorry. Jump down to go right to 17 for the time.
Verse 17. And the dragon.
So the woman is Israel. Read on.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
The dragon is talking about Esau, the red dragon, right? Was mad with Israel. Why? What Israel? The Israelites that's selling drugs? The Israelites that's doing a bunch of wicked sin? No. Read this.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Now hold that. Go back to Jeremiah. The remnant of her seed. This is Jeremiah is saying the same thing. The remnant of her seed. Now that was during the time of Babylon. And when the remnant in Babylon, the remnant in Persia kept the commandments, we had favor with the Persian, Mede, with the Babylonian, with the Greek. We had favor with them. But this is also talking about the last day. So get Jeremiah, read it again.
Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The Lord said, verily it shall be well with thy remnant.
With thy remnant, read on.
Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil.
Now, go back to Revelation 12:17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon.
That's the red dragon. That is the so-called white man. And listen, when I say that, a lot of, even if somebody watches this, that, let's say, for example, somebody that has power over us, right? Let's really think about what we're about to say. Did we come up with the term white man? We did not. Did we come up with the term black man or the term colored? We did not. Those terms were given us to hear after Reconstruction. 1865, post-Reconstruction, we began to build, and then we began to what? Get firebombed. The Ku Klux Klan rose up. When they created the term white only. So when I say to you online with no animosity, the so-called white man, that's what they so-called themselves. That's why I'm saying it. So read it again.
And the dragon.
By the way, we do not have, listen, at our jobs, I'm going to tell you right now, Caucasians many times treat us better than our own black brothers and sisters. I'm telling you right now. So we don't have an agenda against the white man. God used him to destroy us because we didn't listen. We are at peace with all the nations, but it's not going to change the prophecy. You reap what you sow. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. You can't change that. Just like we can't change our position in society, we are going to have to serve it out here. Read it again.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
The woman, when you read the top of the chapter, is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
It's not talking about all of the woman's seed. It's talking about it's a section or a portion of the seed that does what? Read.
Which keep the commandments of God.
So the dragon is not going to war with wicked-ass Israelites. He's going to war with the remnant who come up and repent and return to the Lord, like Jeremiah said. Read.
And have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
We got the testimony of the real Jesus. Why? Because there is a fake Jesus in the earth. Want to know why we know? Ask Captain Matt. He's been to Africa more times than probably anybody in IUIC. Because everywhere you go in black countries where I'm considered white, he's considered mixed, we're not, by the way, over there, the watchdog. Here's the thing, because everything over there is white Jesus in an all black country. It's the same thing in South Africa. It's the same thing in Nigeria, in Algeria. It's the same thing in doggone Liberia. It's the same thing in doggone Madagascar. It's the same thing everywhere you go. Read it again.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Right.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
The remnant of her seed is not talking about the wicked black Christian church. Why? They get funded by AIPAC. They get funded by the Israeli lobby. They will never say anything about the genocide in Palestine, but they say they're Christians. If they're Christians, and they love all, God is for all people, why aren't you saying anything about the genesis of your so-called Arab brothers over there? Showing you that the Christianity of this church and out there is not of God. It's not of God. We know as the real Christians that what's happening, although we don't want to see that genocide, it is prophetic. It is a judgment of God. Just like our slavery in the 1670s was of God. And we understand that now. That's why we don't want to let history die, because we can't let it die, because it's prophecy. History today is fulfilling prophecy in Deuteronomy 28. We know that. Read.
Which keep the commandments of God.
Uh-huh.
And have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
The testimony of Jesus Christ is that Jesus Christ, who came in the flesh, who had a mother and a father and a mother, who were so-called black people. We've got evidence. anthropological evidence, biblical evidence. We've got actual mosaics and statues and all that, stained glass. We know Jesus was a black. We know that for a fact. And he came for one nation of people. That nation of people today has lost its identity. They're scattered throughout the diaspora in the four corners of the earth. We know we're the Israelites, and we must turn back to our God and keep our commandments. We were given the laws of animal sacrifice, our people for forgiveness of sins. Now the new covenant is with those Israelites through Christ, the Messiah, the Lamb of God. This is the great mystery that they spend hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions throughout the years, to keep this a secret from you. Okay? So that was it. Go back to, did you find the 6, what I wanted you to get? I wanted you to get something from before. What did I say again? Is it the, yes, please. Thank you.
Deployments began in Los Angeles in June 2025 and expanded to
So this just happened 4 months ago, okay? First it was LA. They sent the National Guard and the United States Marine Corps, which that's unheard of, by the way. Okay, read on.
And expanded to Washington, D.C.
The nation's capital. Read on.
In August 2025.
About a month and a half ago. Read.
Before presidential authorizations were issued to expand to Memphis.
Memphis is one of the worst cities in the South. Read.
Tennessee and Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. We just showed you a video. They're there now in Portland. Portland is home of Antifa, home of confusion. Read.
Oregon in September 2025. Plans were underway for Chicago.
Chicago, that actually was already there. Read on.
And potentially other cities like New York, Baltimore, San Francisco, etc.
So you got to understand that this is the very beginning phases of what is to come. And this is why I'm telling you, Babylon is breaking apart. Y'all got to see it for what it is. Now, last two. Let's get, I wanted to go back to number 6 and 7. So this is kind of going back to the abroad. This last week, Donald Trump has what he calls his peace plan, okay? His peace plan where he's trying to gather Bibi Netanyahu, which is the genocidal maniac that is responsible for killing about 185,000 Palestinians, many of them which are million women and children, and also all of the Arab countries that they have attacked. Let's name them. Syria, Lebanon, Yemen. You got Qatar. Who else did they attack? Oman. They attacked, I think that may be the extent of it. Oh, Iran. How could I forget? They attacked Iran, which is also, well, they're not Arab, but they are the Middle Eastern, and they are an Islamic country. Okay? So, Trump's big, beautiful peace plan, let's read about this. Or is it a video? Let's watch the video.
Sid is a professor of law at the University of Colorado. He's joining us from Boulder in Colorado. So thank you very much indeed for being with us. Caroline Levitt, the spokesperson for the White House there, saying that this was a very good plan. But it seems to those of us who are trying to get the broad picture in this, separate Gaza from the rest of Palestine. Does that mean from a legal standpoint, Gaza is going to be legally in a different place to the rest of Palestine?
Wow. That's quite a question, not because it's not a good question, but because I think we've seen that the Israelis and the Americans have been over, not just weeks or months or years, but decades have been trying to solve, in their words, the Palestinian issue without recognizing in any way Palestinian national rights in these lands and in these territories. So I think this idea of separating Gaza has been floated before, and it's just a repeat of many proposals and many kind of proposed solutions that have been in existence that deny Palestinians their right to self-determination, which has been recognized by the International Court of Justice. The West Bank, the Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem have been declared as occupied illegally.
Pause. and this is why we know that God is true and every man a liar. It has been deemed that they are occupied illegally by the international community and the ICC, the International Court of, I forget what the acronym stands for. Netanyahu is wanted by the international court. And there's nothing that anybody can do to bring him to justice. There's nothing. They walked out on him. He kept talking. And now the same week that he got walked out on, Trump's coming up with it. And this is the point. I pulled the document. Pull up the thing. It's 181 pages. Okay? And Esau is a forked tongue. His words are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. So I had to look at this. I said, wait, what is this big, beautiful peace plan? So I downloaded it and sent it in. Let's just go to the contents, table of contents. Okay, now, so I want you to show that it actually has, there we go. If you look, because we don't have time to read even one page of it, but the overview, they say section 1, introduction, section 2, the approach, section 3, a vision for peace between the state of Israel. Okay, now, if you go down, scroll down, okay, there's a total of, pause, it said 20, right? It's more. It's 22 sections with a total of 4 separate appendixes, right? And an appendix is like when you do a lease or something, it's something that is like an addendum. So why wouldn't you just have 23, 24, 25? Because an appendix is something you could always change. It's vague. Now, scroll down. Look at, just scroll through the number of pages. Then they have a glossary, right? Look at this. Background. Okay. Look, just keep scrolling. It keeps going and going and going. It's over 180 pages. All of this is a show. They're not even recognizing, like this is the university, the guy at the University of Colorado. He's speechless because that guy actually read the damn thing. And he realized after reading it, nothing legitimizes Palestine as a state.
Nope.
Because the Esau changes stuff as he goes. They've destroyed all of Gaza. They want to make it real estate deals. They want to use that for their purposes. Why do you think they destroyed it? The guy, Katz, said that anybody remaining in Gaza is considered Hamas or supporter of Hamas as a terrorist. They've designed that from day one. They broke all laws in bombing urban areas. They bombed hospitals. When rescue people came to treat the wounded of the injured people at the hospital, they waited then they bombed them again. These people are sick, but God is making them like that. God is behind all of this. This is the amazing. God's behind all this. Keep scrolling. You figure you could probably accomplish in about 3 to 4 pages if you really was intentional and you really was a fair. Why would you have, remember this? Give me that in Proverbs. It says many. You gonna get that? Get that scripture. Many words. Bring it out, Cap.
I was just about to say the same exact thing. In a multitude of words.
Get that scripture for Cap.
They're wanted, not sin. You got that scripture? Yeah, that's right. Nehemiah, he the concordance.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 19. And the multitude of words there wanted not sin.
In a multitude of words that doesn't lack sin. The sin is all in the fine print. You understand? It's all in the fine print. Go ahead, Cap. You can break it down.
Listen, that's heavy. And check this out. And go to verse 18. I'm going to show you these people are the devil. And God is using them. Read verse 18.
Verse 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips.
Esau hides his hatred with lie. He lie about every. He lied on every single so-called treaty with the Native Americans. He lied everything. He gonna lie with them too. And that's what the guy said before. It's been year after year of this two-party state not recognized. He said it's just another so-called peace agreement. Read on.
and he that uttereth a slander is a fool.
And even, I'm going to tell you something, these Israelis are the IDF, they mock the Palestinians. You see these Israeli videos where the children mock, they dress up as Palestinian women and mock them. Read on.
Verse 19, and the multitude of words.
181 pages with 4 appendices. Read on. Appendages, read it.
There wanted not sin.
So no matter how smooth they try to be, there's a bunch of evil that's in that contract. Okay? How do you need 181 pages? And that didn't even that's not even the actual agreement. That's just the outline. You got to understand, Esau is crazy. That's the way God made him. I think we're going to get ready to close out. We had some more on that video? Yeah, let's finish this off. We're going to end the show. Pay attention. Remember, the U.S. is unconditionally backing Israel. And remember this, at home, they've got confusion with their military. They got confusion with standards. They got National Guards being deployed. They got government shutdown. They got Netanyahu getting walked out of the United Nations. And abroad, they are supporting a genocide in which organizations like FIFA and other are shutting down Israeli ties. Okay? And guess what? God has to use the least of the flock. To create World War III, this is what he has to do. And as a prophet, as a spiritual man, we should never be surprised. As a matter of fact, we should know we're getting closer and closer to the end of time. Okay? Which leads to our deliverance. Read, play.
International Court of Justice, and that the Israelis, they had till the end of last month to end the occupation. Of course, they didn't. So this idea of separating Gaza from an American, European, Israeli point of view is nothing new. But it in fact doesn't solve any of the legitimate, or doesn't in any way meet the
last thing I want to
legitimate.
say. The countries including Qatar, Turkey, these are all Islam, right? Pakistan has some strong Islam there. Saudis are Arabians. All of these that are actually, they are subject to doing business with America. But there's going to come a time when these Arabs are not going to be in a lower state. They are going to have the upper hand. Right now, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, they have the lower hand. There will be a time, and it may happen sooner than later, where they are not going to bow down anymore. You read about that in Isaiah 14. I think we read it earlier. Is this the man that did weaken the nation? Look at how he weakened them. Look what he destroyed them. He's got grandmothers walking around, fatherless children. So those are all Hamas. Katz, the minister of war for Israel, said anybody that remains in the city of Gaza, you're all Hamas, you're all terrorists. But who are they? A lot of them are just citizens just trying to live their life. And this is why if we was political, we'd be on them flotillas, we'd be out there marching, be out there in free power. We're not doing none of that. We're not doing none of that. We're going to wake up our people and let the Lord fight for us.
That's right.
Okay? Play the video out.
Aspirations and rights of the Palestinian people.
It has been clear from the outset that the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinians generally have not been part of these negotiations to reach this 20-point deal. The Palestinian Authority, if I understand it correctly, is involved in legal cases.
You know why this guy, the host, he didn't even look at it like we did. It's not a 20-point. It's a 22-point with 4 appendixes. So what is he talking about? They don't even really look at this stuff. That guy, the guy with the glasses, the professor, he read it. He read the damn thing. The host has no idea what he's talking about, by the way. Play on.
Brought against the U.S. or Israel at the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court. Now, my question really is, what happens to those cases if this, either if the deal is agreed or if the deal isn't agreed?
Yeah, well, I think, the United States and Israel, since the late 80s, since the first Palestinian Intifada, when the Palestinian question was kind of hoisted onto the world stage, have always de-emphasized the role of international law, if not outright ignored it, or wished that it had gone away. And so I think we've seen in the fact that there hasn't been a kind of a concerted international effort to enforce some of these rulings based on, American and Israeli positions and pressure. I think we've seen that those efforts are being de-emphasized. And something like this, a proposal like this, the American-Israeli proposal, the Trump plan, whatever it's called, has been designed to, in essence, just kind of continue the position of ignoring international law and relegating all these
putting a
efforts
tourniquet
to
on that dude's leg.
the sidelines. in the hopes that they'll-
Y'all gotta understand, as we're watching this, that EMS guy just ran about 100 yards. He had a dead man's carry, 100 yards running to the ambulance to put him in. He's putting a tourniquet on his leg. That's what they have destroyed this people. In 2022, the population of Gaza was 2.17 million. They estimate there's about 1 million remaining in Gaza. Many of them fled, many of them died, many of them were injured. Okay, so this is what's going on. And it's gonna get a point where these Arabs are going to remember their nature. The Carmanians, which is they're gonna join them, and all this stuff that you see what's going on with Russia, they're all gonna go against the United States of America, aka Babylon. Hence the text. Put the thumbnail one more time before we close out. Y'all seeing it right now, y'all. This is almost the same stuff we keep going over. Babylon is breaking, okay? Confusion, division, home and abroad. And you're going to continue to see this. So we appreciate y'all sticking around with us tonight. Cap, we got the thumbnail, not the thumbnail, we got the PayPal for the Booster Club. Okay, we want to donate. Y'all brothers and sisters, you can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 646-982-3858, or you can hit that barcode there and donate. We don't ask for 10% like the so-called Christian church. Whatever the Lord allows you to move your heart to help the prophets spread this truth, because there's a lot of people throughout the world that don't even know they're Israelites yet, and they have not gotten the gospel. So we appreciate your time. 2 hours in. So with that, hey, tech team, not bad tonight. We didn't even have our lead-off, Saki, and you didn't drop the ball too bad at all. So all praise to the Most High. Look, we are your hosts. I'm Captain Shem, brothers and sisters.
Captain Matt.
Officer Thomas.
Officer Mikael.
So with that, brothers and sisters, we say shalom.
You're never going to see this on any mainstream news.
This ain't what you want, this is what you need. Can't never forget. Yeah, they made us slaves, hung our kids from trees. I never forget. Nooses on our neck, whooped us till we bleed. And they gotta get it. Hey man, call it Galatians 3:13.
You're now tuned in to Precept upon Precept.
Crew so strange. Look at how low they hang. Oh man, took out the chains. So when the wind blow, we just swing. Much oppression never kill 'em.